how to talk to your barber. Have you guys ever went into the barber shop and came out with a haircut that you guys didn't like? Maybe it was because of you and it wasn't because of the barber. Maybe you didn't know how to describe the haircut. So I'll help you along with how to describe the haircut. When you go into the barber shop, the first thing with starting to ask for a haircut is kind of knowing what you want to get. So like when you walk into a barber shop, if you just ask for a trim, everybody's trim is different. Some people's trim is shaved off. Some people's trim is just a dusting. There's different levels to a trim. So you want to be specific with, take a 1/4 inch off, 1/2 inch off. If you're getting a clipper haircut, then and you know the guard size, or you should try to get to know the guard size you're using on the side, so you can say, I'd like a number 2 on the side with 1 inch off at the top. And then they're going to be able to present that haircut. You're going to be able to get that. Also knowing about the nape area, the back of the head, knowing whether you want to have it round, squared, which is blocked off, or squared, or tapered. And round just means you're kind of following the neckline just in its natural area. You kind of round it off in the back, and you can shave the rest with a straight blade. If you want it blocked off or squared, it kind of leaves just a square going right to the back right here, or called blocked off. And it's the same thing. Or you can have it tapered. And a lot of the clients don't know the difference between a taper and a fade. If you want the back tapered, it's just adding a blend to the back, starting at a 0. So having it bald on the bottom right here, and then just kind of gradually blending in. That's why it's called taper. And so a taper, if someone comes in and says, I'd like to have a number 2 on the sides with a taper and 1 inch off the top, that'll be, you're doing a 2 guard on the sides. They already know to blend it into the top. You don't need to tell them. And then when you ask for a taper will be when you blend the side with a 0 and have it matched in right here to your 2 guard, and then you blend the back. That's a taper. And the difference between a taper and a fade is a fade will go all the way across, whether it's low, whether it's mid, whether it's high, whether it's a drop fade. It'll go all the way, it'll cross the ear, and they'll be shaving up, they'll be blending up like that. If you want to taper, it's just going to be the sides will be tapered and the back will be tapered. And so another thing is knowing if you need to ask the barber if you need layers. If you have finer thinning hair and you want to have some layering into the hair so it thickens it and allows it to give the appearance that it's thicker, that's a great thing. Also being able to ask for texture. A lot of the modern men's hairstyles will have a texture involved. So texture is just when they turn the scissors upside down and they point cut the hair, so they have different lengths in the hair, which creates texture, which adds volume and presents for a great new hairstyle. So being able to ask, for all of those. But the main thing is, if you're using clippers on the side, get to know what guard you're using. Next time you get a haircut that's good, ask the barber and say, what guard are you using on the side? Hey, I'm using a 2 guard. I'm using a 3 guard. Then you're able to go in and then, know what you want to take off the top. Again, don't go in and say, oh, just clean me up. Cleanup could mean shaved off like I am. And so, that's where the difference is. Also knowing the difference between a men's scissor haircut and the mixture of the clipper and the scissor. So if someone's getting, a number 2 on the side, they're going to get 1 inch off the top. They're combing it to the side. That's a regular haircut. When a guy has long hair and you're having to section it out, and that's a scissor haircut. And so when you're using scissor only, that's a special service. So a lot of the other times too, guys, if you find a photograph online of something you like, bring that in and show it to them. That's pretty much it. It's pretty easy to go in there. The biggest things that I've seen, like I said, is knowing what the difference between a taper and a fade is. A lot of my clients will come in and they'll say, oh, can you give me a taper? And then I'll show them, because I have a little picture back here, and I'll show them, I'll say, this is a taper and this is a fade. Are you sure that you want the taper? And they'll go, oh no, I want the other one. And I'm like, okay, cool. Do you like it like this? Would you like it as a mid fade, or do you want it low, mid, high? Would you, and then they'll let you know, and you can get custom with that. But a lot of times they don't know the difference. They're not barbers, so make sure that this is where consultation comes in for a barber. A barber should really make sure to hone in. He knows what they really want before he gets started. And the customer, for you guys, if you want to get a good haircut, why don't you go into the barber shop or salon and let them know what it is that you want to get, with some kind of a description. And you're not going to engineer a product with no description. So I'm saying you have to have some description of something if you want the outcome to be good. If you want a great cut, give a great description. And so if you don't know how to give a great description, even better than a great description, go look online and find the photo that the haircut that you like. And I'm sure the barber knows what that is. If he sees the head-on shot and it's not showing in the back, then he can ask you, do you want it taper around or square in the back? Taper, blocked, squared, whatever you want to call it. You can get a hexagon if you want, but I'm just saying there's three main things: taper, blocked, or round in the back. And so those are the three things. Blocked and squared is the same exact thing. And so, just knowing that, if you're getting a real gentleman style haircut, you don't desire to have a taper. Maybe, you're a judge, you're whatever it is, you're getting a number 4 on the sides with a 1/2 inch off the top. It's lightly combing to the side. Then, he can block the back off and he can also just kind of go a little bit cleaner with the guard a little bit lower there, just so there's a nice transition for that. You can also request that if someone's using a number 4 on the side, and this is the lazy way. If they do a 4 on the side and they just square it off, that's lazy. But that's what they asked for, but that's lazy. When somebody tells me they want a number 4 on the side, I give them my number 4. And so I'll give you a 4 on the side, but on the bottom, if you're squaring it or rounding it, I'm gonna lightly kick it in with, a 3 to a 2 at the very bottom, possibly just 1.5 brush at the very bottom for the cleanest line, so it can last you. It's symmetrical, it looks good. It should be a little bit cleaner there than it is here. So I just go above and beyond to do that. That's why a lot of people sit in my chair, and it's but you can ask for that. Hey, can you go with lightly blended 2 towards the bottom, just so it's nice and clean in the bottom. That's another awesome thing to ask for. That's that way you can get a better haircut. But hey guys, that's it. Just know your haircut and know what you're getting, and that's it. If you have any further questions, leave a comment and I'll answer to you. So awesome.